Welcome back to the Roughed Up Podcast.
G'day guys, welcome back to another Roughed Up episode with myself, Eli Hooper, Ryan Hyde, and our guest here, Conan.
What's up?
Very nice to meet you, mate.
Yeah, likewise.
You've done some very funny stuff. You just said that you were like an entertainer or on TikTok, and you've also done some night clubbing, promoting nightclubs and like parties and all that. But then you've also you've done
Already, mate. But you're mainly known on your TikTok for your challenges that you do, your food challenges and your dieting, and how it's affected your body a lot.
Yeah, people think I just do it for clicks. I use TikTok as a gauge to see what people are interested in during each challenge, because it's a documentary that we've sold to a network.
Yeah, okay.
So if you think about any documentary that's been done, when you go into the editing stage and you're like, okay, this is what we think people are interested in, then you edit it up, then you like test it to 10 or 100 people, and then you change it, test it, and you keep testing it till you think you get it right. Whereas this, we've got like over 60 million pieces of data going. Like, I would have made the doco about mental health. No one gives a fuck about mental health. Can I swear?
Yeah,
okay. No one gives a fuck about mental health. You post mental health, it's like 50,000. You post like weight, it's in the millions.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
post skin, it's in the millions. So it changed the complete way that we're going to do post-editing with the documentary thanks to TikTok. So it's just a tool for us to then also... It's like when you're a musician, right? Your first album, they just rip you off. Yeah. Everyone knows you just get fucking ripped off, right? Because they're like, we don't know, we don't know if you're going to pop, you're blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Whereas this, we're like, no, we've got 60 million views. We know what we're worth.
Yeah.
So is this, like, you've shown, okay, this is, like, people are interested in this, and you've shown this to the whoever you're trying to sell it to.
So you give it to a producer, the producer then pitches it.
Okay.
So we've only sold it to one network in the US, Mexico and Canada.
Yeah.
So they've bought the rights for it for 3 years for fucking stupid money. Like, stupid money. I never thought. Yeah. Research how much Super Size Me made. Oh, my God.
Well, I know that was like on Netflix. Super Size Me was like pushed hard on Netflix. Like,
did you know he filmed it 20 years ago?
Yeah.
He first sold it in 2004. Stan bought it last year.
Yeah.
Fire.
Still making money.
Yeah.
30 days.
And he made a second one too.
The second one flopped, but the first one was good.
The second one, he showed how like the chicken was made and stuff.
Yeah.
And he tried to make his own like fast food restaurant.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah. Crazy stuff. But we'll get into how you even got here in the first place.
I drove. You live in the middle of nowhere.
But how you even got to the position that you're in now. Like, we'll start off with like your childhood. Where did you grow up? And
I was born in Canberra.
Canberra.
Yeah, that shithole.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. I was born in Canberra in the hospital that they were supposed to implode, and it exploded. Just kind of like it sums up my life really. And it was like shit going everywhere and almost killed people. And then I grew up, and then we had to move around because I've got a bad father. So I had to try and get away from him. Went to Sydney, and then we came back to Canberra. Then we came up here on like my 11th birthday to Queensland. And then now I've moved around and I played a heap of sport at school. I didn't really enjoy school. I think my last year of school, grade 12, I averaged 35 days off a term or something.
Wow.
It's funny. I could forge my dad's signature, right? And it was like 2 weeks left of grade 12, and the teachers like called me in. She goes, "What's with these unexplained family emergencies?" And they called Dad. And they're like, "What's with this?" He goes, "Dad's like, I haven't signed a letter all year." And he just laughed. He goes, "What the hell are they going to do about it the second last week of school?"
Yeah.
We spoke about it a couple times on here. The whole schooling system is in Australia at least. It's very pushed that you need to go towards a university and do that. Like.
Yeah, because that's money for the companies that own it.
Yeah.
So the companies that started the education system, so initially who started the education system was to create factory workers, to be able to put the people in the factories. And then they created this thing called the university. That's why there's a course for fucking everything.
Yeah.
You know how many people do business and doesn't teach you shit?
Yeah, we know a couple of them. Yeah.
Now there's I just heard there's a course on gender something.
Really?
To teach you about different genders. What the fuck's that going to do when you leave school? Yeah. Nothing. What? Get you on TikTok or something?
Well, even that's why we both went to TAFE, and I feel like TAFE's it depends on what you're going into. If you're like a doctor or it's something where I feel like medical university is good.
Yeah.
But
Well, of course, like medical and law and all that kind of stuff.
But even with that, if you have enough money, you can do anything.
Well, yeah.
If you just have enough money and you want to be a doctor, I don't think there's anything that's stopping you.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, when I was in school, there wasn't really a difference between public and private.
Yeah.
It was just who you rub shoulders with.
Yeah.
Now there is a massive difference.
Oh, yeah.
Like the school that I went to, they have a fucking plane.
What? Really?
They've got a plane from grade 10. If you want to become a pilot, they've got a plane.
Yeah.
They've got an AI building. They've got a film and TV building bigger than Channel 10. I went to that school, so where the fuck was this shit when I was here?
It was the same where we went to, right? We graduated, and as soon as we graduated, they got like all this cool shit. Like the tuck shop turned from this little dingy tuck shop to like a cafe with like a gourmet chef.
Yeah.
But
What school did you guys go to?
we went to
Just up the road.
Yeah, St. Pat's.
Oh yeah, I went to Sheldon.
I don't know.
Sheldon College over in the Redlands.
Oh well, I'm gonna send my kids there. All right.
Yeah, it's so good. Dude, I went and did like presentations there and stuff, and I was like, holy fuck, this school's sick.
How was it doing that? Doing the presentations, going back?
Yeah, it was alright. We took Jeff Horn and like dunked him in jelly and shit in front of us. Yeah, it was really cool. It was pretty funny. But it was interesting going back because there was heaps of the same teachers. When I went there, it was 4 buildings surrounded by dirt.
Yeah, wow.
And now it's like, it's so big. It's massive.
That's insane.
It's but like also like some of the fees are insane. Like I used to work in a company that used to do school photography, like the ID photos, and that one at Southport at the Gold Coast.
Oh yeah, that's like 25, 30 grand or something.
Yeah, it's like 30 grand a year per kid. It's like insane.
I think when you get to that upper echelon, there's a difference. But going where we went, I don't think there's much of a difference.
No, there wasn't much of a difference between private school and.
But even in the area though, it is still who you rub shoulders with. Whoever you rub shoulders with, their parents, whatever they have, it opens up so many more opportunities.
It's definitely. I've learned over the years, it's who you know, not what you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like 100%. But we'll get on to more about you because you're here instead of talking about schools.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Canberra. You said shit.
Yeah.
I agree.
Canberra's either like you're either politics or business. It's real weird. Like all the kids growing up. Yeah. It's real bad with drugs. It's real bad like gang stuff. Yeah. Because there's nothing to do. Yeah. So you're either good or you just get like you're talking. Girls are getting pregnant really young. Yeah. The people are getting into drugs really young.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's not what you'd think.
I've driven through there. I've never stopped. But like,
that's probably
it just seems
choice.
like everyone's like so like uptight. Like,
well, I mean, I would be if I was a politician.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But like, they're getting around, all in suits, and it's like, okay, no one's just having fun here. It's all business. But we'll move on. So Eli's written some stuff.
Well, you've done talking about TikTok. You've done a lot of challenges. All the. I know you didn't want to talk about it, but I think it's something because it's really popular.
No, I do. Yeah.
What's the hardest challenge you've done? And
depends on what you define as hard. They're all hard in their own way.
Yeah.
It's like asking like, what's the worst one? They're all different kind of. You've got like the biggest surprise is Subway's worse for you than KFC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I could not believe that I did KFC first because I thought fuck this is going to be the worst.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get the worst out of the road, then heal,
with
and
Subway.
Then dude, like Subway, I had to stop on day 26 because my liver tripled, my GGG tripled, and I got a non-alcoholic fatty liver from Subway.
Jesus Christ.
Right, and I didn't get that from 30 days of alcohol. And 30 days of alcohol, I was drinking from 10 in the morning till I can't remember going to sleep more than 20 of the 30 days. I was drinking, like, I'd have my first drink at 10. Easily, I can do a bottle of vodka by myself before 1, 2 o'clock. Then you like but we were out. I did it in December and we were just out every day. I spent more than 10 grand because I didn't want to drink at home.
Yeah, no.
Right, so we're just having like cocktails and shots and we're at different venues and everywhere in Brisbane. It's only 3 drinks an hour when you think about it. So it's not actually that much alcohol. But I ended up with liver failure and gout. I could not walk. My feet was in so much pain. And I was in hospital for 36 hours, like uncontrollably throwing up. So I'd throw up for like 10 to 15 minutes. feel good for 5 minutes, start spinning. I was in like the fetal position like this, with my head in between my knees, and just spinning for an hour and a half till I'd uncontrollably throw up. 36 hours, I was still throwing up for 10 minutes, like power. I didn't know where the fluid was fucking coming from.
Yeah, didn't even know.
Because I couldn't drink. I couldn't drink water. I was just too sick. And then I did not get a fatty liver from that.
Yeah.
And Subway gave me a fatty liver.
Wow.
Do you reckon it would have been? What do you reckon would have caused that in Subway? Because when you think about it, Subway, it's what, just their meats, which are processed.
Yeah, it's more processed than a frozen chicken nugget than you get from Woolworths.
Wow.
So a frozen chicken nugget you get from Woolworths is about 58%. Like if you read the box, it goes like 58% chicken.
Yeah.
Right. Subway's less than 50% chicken.
Yeah. Wow.
So you've
Okay.
not just that, and your meat's bad, right? So all the vegetables are fucking covered in like sulfates and preservatives because they don't want to waste anything. It never goes off.
Yeah.
Right. So covered in shit. But before it gets to them, it's also covered in glyphosate and Roundup that it comes. So it's worse to have the spinach than it's worse to like eat it. You get more damage than you do good from the actual what it is. But it's the bread that fucks you up because the bread's coming from hydrolyzed wheat. So they changed the wheat in like the 70s so that it could handle Roundup and stuff. So basically, the wheat would grow, and in the early stages of the wheat, you get the weeds and stuff around it would affect the growth, and then they'd have to pay people to go around individually spray Roundup on the weed. Then they went, hang on, if we genetically modify it, then we can spray straight over it, and then it will still grow and it won't affect the growth of the wheat. It does, but then wheat, just like every plant, absorbs whatever the fuck's on it, the water, whatever's in it, so it's absorbing it and it's coming up. It also changed, it stopped growing so high and it started growing lower, and there's all this other shit. So, but our body can't process this hydrolyzed wheat. So once it comes into our stomach, our liver and kidneys can't process it. The stomach then has to change what it does to like add extra acid and shit to get through it. That doesn't work. Then the gallbladder, then the pancreas. Nothing fucking works, right? It does. We can't process it. Then you've also got the problem of parasites lay their eggs on the wheat. The wheat does get washed in these tins with wood alcohol, right? It does a shitty job at washing this shit off. It doesn't do a good job. So we're ingesting Roundup. Yeah. Every single time we're eating it, we're ingesting Roundup, but then we can't process the wheat. Then it's got parasites on it. The wood alcohol cleans the outer shell of the parasite egg. So then when we digest it, our stomach does the rest, then they fucking hatch in our stomach, right? But then we've got these things like our T cells. Our T cells are supposed to attack it, but our T cells can't hang around with wood alcohol. They just don't mix. Wood alcohol hangs out in our pancreas. That's where all the fucking parasites go. Yeah. Parasites go to the pancreas, then they multiply, then they drop their feces in our pancreas. It causes whole heap of shit. Then they build a big army, then they go through our whole body. Parasites and worms is like, you're talking the bad effects of, so wheat is like wheat, and then the parasites and worms are like bad effects of autism, ADHD, Alzheimer's. Like when I did Domino's, from day 2, I couldn't hear out of my left ear. Sinus problems, you got anything, it's all coming from fucking wheat. Yeah. But it's also come from parasites and worms. Yeah. But then again, you look at like, as far as cancer, people are being cured of cancer after they've done eight things of radiation and all that shit that they do for cancer. They get off it and they go do a deworming thing from a fucking horse or a cow. Cancer's gone. Yeah. It's all the worms and the parasites.
Yeah, okay.
So that's like showing you the damage that it's all causing. It's all coming from that.
Yeah, wow. It's insane. So like all this stuff is just fighting each other.
Yeah. Because I was speaking to my dad last night. I'm struggling to think of what I'm eating that isn't processed and got shit on it. Like just everything from the cattle to the veg, everything's got shit on it.
Your meats, see, the main reason why KFC isn't that bad is because it's real chicken.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't matter, like, it's either, do you want to deal with glyphosate and Roundup and have vegetables and shit, or do you want to deal with, the meat's getting antibiotics so that less are dying. So yes, we're getting more antibiotics, which is lowering our immune system, and then steroids. And then, they pump it full of sodium and they pump it full of fluid to make it way more and that kind of shit. But, like, what do you want to... This is why carnivore's working more for people than vegan. It's mainly you're not having the glyphosate shit and it's less parasites. Because the meat... What do you want to deal with? Do you want to deal with poison and parasites, or do you want to deal with, some steroids and antibiotics?
Yeah.
Like, choose your devil, but...
It's better off.
carnivore, I don't see anybody going wrong with carnivore.
Yeah.
Whereas, vegan did not work for me.
Yeah.
And so I wrote a list, if you could scroll down for me, Teddy, of all the diets that you've done. So
I can't even remember.
Well, this is the ones that I found. So you did 30 days of KFC, 30 days of Subway, 30 days of alcohol. Domino's, McDonald's you were thinking of, I think.
No, McDonald's is coming, but so I was supposed to do Macca's, and the plan was to do Macca's under my daily calories and stay lean, and then show the damage internally. Because all these PTs, calories in versus calories out, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
No, it fucks you up, right? So I wanted to show that, but I ended up doing that in Domino's because I was training for a world record. Yeah. So Domino's went to stop at 16 days. I was in a deficit of 1,000 calories or more a day. I was training for 4 to 6 hours like a fucking psycho. Yeah. Right, so I was in a massive decline, and I still put on 6 kilos in 16 days because of the wheat. And then the wheat caused the sinus problems, and then gave me parasites and worms and all this other shit. I had mad depression, low energy, bad sinus. I had so many problems in Domino's. We knew that pizza was going to be the worst, but I didn't know it was going to be that bad. And so that was surprising about that. But McDonald's, I'm just going to do a 10 to 14 day water fast coming up, and then I'm going to get the full bloods with all my hormones and everything, and then just do 1 day at Macca's and then blood straight again and show all the damage 1 day does.
Yeah, wow.
Because we already did the deficit one with pizza.
How do you go with the water fast? Because that would be so painful. I just couldn't imagine.
It's the opposite of what you think.
Really?
Yeah, the first 3 days do suck. It's like climbing a mountain.
Yeah.
You climb the mountain, the climb sucks, but when you get up to the top and you watch the view, day 4, it's like you're on limitless drug.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like it's the complete, like the first 3 days, I always say to people, do it when you're the busiest. Start it on like a Monday with work and you're flat out, and every single time, like your lunch break or your dinner is like go for a walk. Don't sit at home. That's when you're going to get hungry. Hunger pains only last 15, 20 minutes. Yeah. I've got bigger problems in my fucking life than hunger. So it's like not that big of a drama, but also too, if you do it for mental reasons and to clear your blood and to clear your guts and the right reasons, right? Not a superficial reason like weight. Everyone I know that does it for a superficial reason like weight, they don't get the high on day 4 or 5 or 6 for some reason. And I think it's like anything in life. If your why for doing something isn't a good why, like sex, alcohol, whatever it might be, it's going to be a bad experience. Yeah. So your why needs to be for the right reason. But day 4, your autophagy's cranking and your ketones are cranking, and it's like you wake up and you're like, why the fuck do I have so much energy? Why am I so positive? Why am I so mentally clear? Yeah. Okay. And then you're like, hunger's gone, and it's so weird. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. I need to get back to day 4. I've got clients going through it now. Yeah. And then day 4 to 10, it's like you're on limitless drug. Yeah. And you struggle to sleep, you got so much energy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people struggle with. I struggle with it, getting up and I'm like, fuck.
What? How many litres do you do a day when you're water fasting?
I do a heap because I drink a lot already.
Yeah, okay.
Some people do 2, some people do 4, some people do 5.
Really?
I don't really like to measure it too much.
Yeah.
But yes, like unless I've had a problem like Domino's and 2-minute noodles, they really fucked up my kidneys. Yeah. So of course my liver fucked up. But when your kidneys do it, when you're doing a water fast, every single time you do bring in water, it is making the kidneys work. Yeah. So I wanted to give the kidneys more of a break. So then I would only drink for 2 hours in the day of during that, because that let the kidneys heal faster. So every single time you digest food or bring in water or anything that you put in your mouth, your liver and kidneys stop healing themselves and they stop healing the rest of the body. So they do that 100% of your attention. So if you've got an injury, like a knee injury, you got the fucking cold, whatever it is, every single time you eat, your body stops healing and puts all of its attention to digest the food. Once it does that, then it goes back to healing. If you're eating it from when you wake up and then you have a snack and then here and bang, 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 the only time you're healing, and if you eat just before you go to bed, you're probably only healing for 6 hours a day.
Yeah, wow.
So the only time you heal is when you sleep. So the less when you go into like intermittent fasting, the reason the body's doing a better job and it's operating better is because you're giving it a longer time period to heal the liver and kidneys and heal the rest of the body. That's why the fasting works so well. The only thing is that fasting is super dangerous for women. Men, we're good. Our hormones reset every 24 hours, not 28 days.
Yeah.
But women need to get their bloods tested and the A1C tested, because if they've got low blood sugar and low A1C, even intermittent fasting can fuck up their hormones, their estrogen, and therefore, you know how like you've seen female bodybuilders, and then they're like, oh, my body's fucked and my hormones are fucked. It's because of that.
Yeah, okay.
Because they got to the low blood sugar thing, and that changes their estrogen and fucks up their thyroid.
Yeah.
So if women get into intermittent fasting or want to do a 6 to 10 day fast, they have to do their bloods. It's a lot more dangerous for women.
Well, I can't remember if I told you, but I did this challenge with my dad, who could lose the most weight in a month. And I did this insane diet where the first, I think, like 20 days, I did intermittent fasting and the keto diet.
Yeah, keto's good.
And I tried that, and it was hard, but I got through it, and I did feel better in it. And then I did at the end, it was like some UFC diet where it was like, you drink like a heap of water at the start, and then you like go down to basically no water at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, that's because you just wanted to be you're just like cutting weight for the scales.
I ended up in a month losing, what was it, like 6 kilos or something?
No, you lost like 16.
Yeah,
I was
I
going to say, you should have lost more than 6.
Yeah, it was like a fair amount, but it just shows like if you eat in the right way, and I think the fasting really did help out, because
keto would have helped massively. Like you seen how Dana White, he had 10 years left.
Oh, really?
So he got Gary Brecker to do like the test on how when he was going to die, and Brecker's like, you're going to die in about 10, 11 years if you don't change, and he's put him onto the keto.
Yeah.
That's why he's like slimmed right up, and he's like looking real good, and he's like, dude, I feel 30 again.
Yeah. In keto, avocado saved me, eh?
Yeah, well, that's what fucked me in vegan.
Oh, really?
See that?
Yeah, no, I saw that.
See, like, I had 28 pimples on my face, and we found out I'm allergic to vegan now. No, not vegan,
like
avocado.
Avocado.
Like the oil.
Yeah. Yeah, I got, like, if I was going to do keto, I'd be eating a shitload of bacon.
Yeah?
Getting the fat from the bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can have one avocado a day and not break out.
Yeah.
Any more than that, I break out.
I was eating like, how many avocados were there? I was eating like 3 a day.
Yeah. That's what I used to eat. I used to eat so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, your body changes. It changes the way it can process and handle shit.
Yeah, wow. It was just Caesar salad. It was, for me, it was like basically Caesar salads without the sauce, and then just like avocado.
Yeah, you can just like you can cheat with like coconut oil on everything.
Yeah.
But what were you having with your meat? Because you have to have a lot of meat.
I can't even remember. I was just eating meat and then just avocado.
Yeah. It's a good combo.
Yeah. It was basically that, eh? And like salads.
Yeah, something like that.
The lot of water helps.
Yeah.
Like when a lot of people change their diet and they cut out that shitty carb for you and the wheat and that kind of stuff, they struggle with like feeling full, and it's because they're not drinking enough water. If like one of the tricks is when you're preparing food or thinking about it, just drink 500-600 mils of water every time, then you'll eat the proper amount of food.
Yeah.
Like our bodies, an average female can digest around 250 calories an hour. An average male is anywhere from 250 to like 400 calories. Anything more, body can't digest that in an hour.
Yeah.
So it is storing it or doing shit, or it's fucking sitting there waiting. It is affecting you in a negative way.
Yeah, because it's a big thing at the moment, like boys getting on the bulk. And they're eating so much.
Not at the moment, it always has been.
Yeah, well, you're seeing a lot more because of TikTok and everything.
No, it's actually getting less because of Pete Davidson.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
The ugly hot guy.
No, it's like the skinny, like MGK and stuff.
Yeah.
You see that thing he did the other day with like how he recreated the Barbie song? Did you see that?
No.
Oh, he like.
I did it. I know he did the SNL thing. It was real good.
Yeah. Oh, he is funny.
Yeah.
What were you saying? Sorry.
Oh no, because these boys are getting on. They're eating just complete shit.
Yeah, I know.
Just the insane, and then they're injecting themselves with steroids and all that. What's your opinion on those people doing that? And would you say
Each their own. I don't give a
each
fuck
their
what
own?
someone does. It's not my body. like, I don't understand when people have an opinion on what somebody else does.
Yeah.
Like, if I go to the table and I'm doing, like, even fasting, I still catch up with everyone at lunch and dinner and go out to
Yeah.
restaurants.
Yeah.
What does it fucking matter if I have water and they're eating? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And they're always a bit weird about it. I'm like, I don't care.
Doesn't affect them
No.
anyway.
I don't really, it doesn't bother me what somebody else does.
Yeah.
If they want to do it, yeah, good, like, good on it.
Because it was a real eye opener watching you like just drink water, and I mean like you lost weight, but it wasn't just you were anorexic. Like after you kept on like a little bit of weight and you kept on the muscle and you were really energetic. And
Well, most of it, because I'm doing it straight off of, like, you think of KFC.
Yeah.
I did 30 days of KFC. I put on 8 kilos, spent like $1,100 on KFC. My skin went bad. I got sent to hospital, and they thought I'd have to get my gallbladder out, but I didn't. Luckily, we got a CT scan, and my entire colon was full, and that's because. And I got diverticulitis from that, which is it's pretty much the only thing I've got a lifelong problem from was KFC. And diverticulitis is where your colon, because it's so full and there's not enough fibre and you don't go to the toilet enough, it then fills up, and then when you try to go to the toilet, it splits holes or pockets in your colon. And then you have to be careful with your diet after that, because if shit gets stuck into that pocket, you get infected really quickly. That infection makes you super sick, and you got to get straight onto like strong antibiotics. It's really common with elderly.
yeah,
But you look at, like, then you go into a water fast from all those problems. Most of that 8 kilos was in my colon, and most of it was in inflammation.
Yeah.
So when you fast, yes, the average person and the average client probably loses about 1 kilo a day. So let's say you do a 10-day, you drop 10 kilos. Then everyone's, oh, well, you put it back on. Yeah, fucking course you do.
Yeah.
So you put on about half back on. Now, you put the whole thing back on if you go back to the way you were eating, or the problem that you were initially had. If you then go, all right, I've done 10 days of stop giving in to the devil on my shoulder, I'm now mentally stronger to stop self-sabotaging, then you go, all right, I'm going to use this as a reset. Then after you do your refeed, the best thing to do is just eat one food. Like, just eat chicken or just eat steak or whatever it is, and basically go back to like you're a baby. And, you know, when you, like now, what do they do in baby? Oh, we'll introduce one food a week. Do that and find out what the fuck your body actually responds to and what it doesn't. And then you'll find the diet that perfectly suits you. But again, like, you look at me, what KFC, I was like 84 or 85 kilos. My normal weight is 75 anyway. So I'm just going back down to normal.
Yeah. It's just like a reset.
yeah.
It's just like a full, just flush out reset.
Yeah.
How often would you recommend? Well, you wouldn't
I reckon Kelly Slater's got it sorted with every 6 months.
every 6 months.
Yeah, and you think about it, a 10-day water fast cleans your colon by day 9, resets everything, gets rid of inflammation, but it's a parasite and worm cleanse because they all die and they leave.
Yeah.
So we should be doing a parasite and worm cleanse every 6 months.
With the parasite and worms, I was thinking about it before. Do you see that lady that had the worm in her brain from eating that, like...
Oh yeah, that was down in Melbourne or something.
Yeah, she got a worm in her brain from eating a bit of grass or something, like leaf that she had.
Probably some vegan shit.
Yeah. And it had like egg on it, and then it ended up in her brain.
Wow.
And she was like really sick from it, and then they eventually got it out.
You know, most balding is from parasites laying feces in the brain.
Really?
Most bald, yeah. If they do a full parasite and worm cleanse and then stop eating that shit, their hair comes back. There's a 60-year-old dude in the States who's like preaching all about it now.
Yeah, wow.
But most of it is from parasites.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's a whole world that
I've never had an...
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, I've been a PT and I've been doing nutrition and PT stuff since 2004, doing this doco.
Yeah.
I don't even know how the fuck half the shit is on the shelves.
Yeah.
Who the fuck approves this shit?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Oh man, it made me so... When I was doing Domino's, I was so angry. I was like, I'd so much rather not know.
Yeah.
But because I was like putting everything together and we're like starting to structure the actual doco and like how we want to finish it, because we want to finish like what's the message and the big bang.
Yeah.
And I was just like getting so fucking angry. I'm just sitting there, like, you walk through Woolworths and you go, basically everything in the centre of the aisle we should not be eating.
Yeah.
The only stuff we should be eating is on the outside, but it's still not coming at a it's still not coming at something that we should be consuming it. We still need to change it. We need to wash the fuck out of fruit and veg with, what do they say, bicarb soda and apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
We need to wash the fuck out of that to then just be able to digest it. And if we don't do it, it's doing more damage than good.
Yeah.
Wow.
And just the amount of people in the world that would have no idea. Like, I honestly, like, don't know much about it. But even people that would just be like, oh, yeah. Or even you tell them that and they'll go, oh, yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah. They're just like, well, I'm just a slave. Like, a lot of people
You know how
just
much
think,
hate I get from when I say that KFC is better for you than Subway? Yo, I was talking to the psychologist about this, right? And I was like, why am I getting so much hate about this? She's like, Conan, what you're doing is you're confronting people and you're basically making them question how smart they are. So when you do that, because they sit there and they're like, hey, I want something really quick, I'm going to go to Subway, I'm going to make a healthy decision.
Yeah.
Now you're saying that is a bad decision, they should go to KFC instead if you're going to choose that.
Yeah.
That makes them question their own ability. So their first thing is, if you question somebody's, like, if they're smart or not with their own ability to make a decision on the right choice, the first way they're going to try and do is they're going to try and put you down and discredit you.
Yeah.
To make themselves look and feel better.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, I get it now.
Yeah.
I was like, that's why everyone was hating on me on that.
Well, I saw on your page that you said that you, like, it was a while back that you might quit because the amount of work that you're putting into all of this stuff.
No, I was just baiting the haters.
Yeah. So, and then
That was like a David Goggins shit.
Yeah.
Tell me I can't do it, so I got more motivated.
And then all the comments were popping off.
No, I got no hate on that comment.
Really?
That's the only one I've got zero hate on. I literally went, I can't do this anymore, it's all too much, the hate comments, blah, blah, blah. And then I like did the in and around my mouth, like, yeah, right. Yeah. And I was like, fucking bully me more. Like, I'm losing motivation, troll me. I didn't get a single troll comment on that one.
Yeah. So is that, you use the hate as motivation? Or
Yeah, fuck, I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
Tell me I can't do it, I'll do it.
yeah, we've had that conversation with a couple of our guests. Some of them are hilarious.
Yeah.
And
Some of
it's
them
just-
must be taking the piss.
Oh.
There's no way you were in such a dump in your own life.
No, there is a way there. Like, I know that if I put a negative comment on, like, we all do it, right? We all write text messages, we do dumb shit.
Yeah.
And it's when we're not in a good place.
Yeah.
So you understand, like, sometimes I'm like, I feel super compassionate about it.
Yeah.
Other times I'm in, like, I want to shit stir, don't give a fuck. So then I'm like, I sit there and I'm like, okay, I know most people read the comments.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how can I do a response that makes everyone fucking laugh?
And the creative comment is straight to the top.
yeah. I'm like, I just want to, and then if I can't, like, I don't give a fuck, I'm like, I love lamp or something dumb.
Yeah. I was going to also ask you about, because we're big on it, which is probably not healthy for us, is energy drinks. Like, because you do all these, like, 30 days of things, but energy drinks, how do you reckon that would affect you, and would you do, like,
I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it?
That's like people say vape, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I think the risk is too high.
Yeah.
I think if I was to do 30 days to consume energy drinks like some unhealthy people, and more people drink like more than 3 a day than what you realise.
Yeah.
When I did KFC, I did hey, this is a safe space, please tell me, do you eat bad food daily, like a couple of times a week, once a week, fortnightly or monthly? The amount of people that said multiple times a day,
Jesus.
it was like I was just sitting there going, hang on, what the fuck? Like, I didn't think that.
Well,
I was like, oh, no one eats like this. No, yes they do.
Well, you did, with your KFC, didn't you do it twice to 4 times a day, or something like that?
I don't know, just say KFC, like, so I started eating KFC twice a day.
Yeah.
So what KFC does, right? So the reason why my colon filled up, so all fast food do this. When they're making the batter and all their fucking shit in the bread, they purposely take out the fiber content, and they don't add in the right amount of fiber. So Subway, I was eating Subway 3 times a day, and I was having 11 or 12 grams of fiber per day, and as a male you should be having 30 to 40 grams.
Yeah.
The reason they do that is your blood sugar and insulin spike. One drops, you get hungrier faster. So at the end of KFC, I'm having it 4 times a day.
Yeah.
But at the start, I'm only having it 2 because it makes you hungrier faster.
Yeah, okay.
And they're doing that on purpose. But then the problem is, KFC makes you shit if you have one. After about 4 or 5 days, you're not going to the toilet.
Well, that's the thing that I've said before, is like Macca's, right? Like, you can go to Macca's and order a cheeseburger and, like, chips, and then after you're still hungry and you need some more. Like, most people go to Macca's, I feel like, and order, like, 2 burgers and a drink and fries.
Yeah.
Instead of just a burger.
Yeah.
Because it must be like the fibre that you're saying.
Yeah, you get hungry quick. Yeah. Like you fill up full and feel like shit, and then an hour later you're hungry. You're like, what the fuck is going on? It's because of that. They purposely do that.
Isn't it the same thing with just bottled water? When you buy bottled water, I'm pretty sure they have some chemical in there that
makes you thirsty.
That makes you thirsty.
Yeah, I've heard of that too.
Yeah, it's like it makes your mouth dry.
Yeah. I need to research that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I've heard of that as well. Some bottled waters put they put more sodium in it.
Yeah, more sodium in there.
No, well, the sodium's good. Everyone says stay away from salt. Yeah, stay away from table salt.
Yeah.
The only thing table salt's good for is put it in your fucking washing. It helps keep your colours.
Yeah.
Right? It is not good for anything. But pink Himalayan salt, or if you can get it, Celtic salt.
Yeah.
So pink Himalayan's like 75 minerals, essential minerals. There's no essential carb, just so you fucking know. But essential minerals, and it's got like your aminos and stuff in it. Whereas if you go Celtic, it's like 82 or 84, and it's got all your magnesiums. We have a problem with a lack of sodium. So even some people that are drinking 2 to 3 litres a day, if they don't have the right amount of sodium, that sodium's not getting into the muscle, not getting into anything. So one of the biggest risks with water fast is that if you're not getting your sodium intake and you're having nothing but water and you're flushing everything out, it flushes the sodium out of your body, and you do have risk of liver and kidney failure and a heart attack. So you've got to have this thing called Soleil water, right? And it's like this mixture of it's basically salt water, but it's so fucking strong. You got to have it in the morning. You cannot go anywhere for 15 to 20 minutes. You're lucky to get to the toilet in your own house. It is like a jet ski coming out of your ass, right? It's like you fucking take off, right? It is so hectic, but like you feel like, as bad as it is, it cleans you the fuck out.
Yeah.
But you need that sodium, and that sodium. This is why elderly mainly have heart attacks in the morning. Yeah. So the most heart attacks are like 5, 6, 7 in the morning, because a lot of elderly, when they can't control their bowels and stuff as you're getting older, especially women, going through pregnancy and that kind of stuff, they'll stop drinking water in the afternoon. Stop drinking water in the afternoon. They're not having enough sodium. So in the morning, what happens if you don't have enough water or sodium? Heart attack. Yeah. Liver, kidney failure, organ failure. Yeah. So tell your grandparents to be drinking, like, have more salt. Yeah. Good salt, have more salt. Okay. Have more water. Yeah. And they can have more water because the salt's then putting the water into the muscle and into the organs. So it's going to stop them from going to the toilet enough, and it's going to stop a fucking heart attack. Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, how much is that salt that you're getting? How much is it to get?
$1.80 for 100 grams. It's cheap as. It's just Celtic's just really hard to find.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's just really hard to find. Whereas pink Himalayan is a lot easier to find, and it does the job. But if you can get Celtic, just buy like 400 grams. It'll last you forever.
Well, talking about your pink Himalayan salt, you're doing your salt edema thing?
No, well, that's all the same thing. I'm trying to rename it because TikTok fucking take it down.
Oh, really?
So it's all fasting. It's all a 10-day fast, but I'll call it autophagy, or I'll say a salt enema, or I'll say I'm trying to get around their stupid fucking terms and conditions.
Yeah. Well, we can chat about that if you want. The TikTok algorithm and TikTok's whole spiel that they're doing.
So the algorithm is, if you're good, you get views.
Yeah.
There is no post at the right time bullshit that all these people tell you. Yeah. There is an art to telling a story. Yeah. So in the first 3 seconds, you need to hook somebody. You need to hook them and get them to go, because you swipe. So what you've got 2 to 3 seconds to get someone to stop and then watch. Yeah. So what TikTok's algorithm actually does, this is why it's different to every single one else. But what they'll do is the AI is now a lot smarter. It works out what your content is. It will put your content to 50 people that are kind of interested into it. If you get a certain percentage of those 50 respond, watch for a certain time, like it, comment it, share it, there's a certain amount of engagement, it will then go to 500. Yeah. If you get a similar engagement or better, they will then put it to 1,000. It is 100% decided by the people. Yeah. Yes, their terms and conditions, if you mention fasting, weight loss, fucking any one of their sponsors, goddamn, I just can't talk at the moment. Yeah. It's getting ridiculous. Yeah. But as long as you're within the terms, a whinging Karen that doesn't want their thing to go to their daughter who has a problem and blah, 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 which is like the negative 1% of the fucking whole audience. Anyway, if it doesn't, like, as long as you go within those, it's just hook them at the start, then give people, like, either shock them, entertain them, make them laugh, give them, like, holy fuck, then you have to rehook again at about 20 to 30 seconds. And then finish. Keep going, and then the system is basically you should have a hook every 20 to 30 seconds. Yeah. So if you're doing a 4-minute video, you should have a hook at the start and then a hook at 20 to 30, but then you take people on a journey that gives them a shock or makes them think, fuck, I didn't know that, or wow, or, you know, give them a factor.
Yeah.
So that storytelling can go along. Like, you follow someone like Mr. Beast now, and he'll even say, you go back 5 years ago, he could do one video that would go. Now, in order for his videos to go,
it's like 10 seconds.
No. So he has 5 of those, one from 1 year ago, from 5 years ago. Now he does 5 of them in one video.
Yeah.
So the demand to be entertaining, it's all, are you entertaining? Are you engaging?
Yeah.
That's how you go. It's not what fucking time you post. It's got nothing to do with that. It's just, are you entertaining?
Yeah. And like people's attention span now is like insane. Like,
you'd be surprised though, everyone's going longer.
Really?
You go look at Mr. Beast, they're like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
Like fucking Nelk is going 45 minutes now.
Yeah.
So yeah, some people are, but then you look at podcasts.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Rogan's doing 3 hours. He's been doing that forever. So people do say, yeah, it's short. It's short for lazy content creators who haven't found their niche.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I don't know what to do. And they're just trying to do what they think the audience want, which is probably one of the biggest mistakes.
Yeah. Like, and I was gonna say, we do clips, and like, for example, like one could do really well on like TikTok or do really well on Instagram and doesn't do well on TikTok, and it's just all just fluctuates. Like,
audiences are different though.
Yeah.
And the app response, like the way you tell a story is different. That's why I'm quite hesitant to move over to YouTube at the moment. Plus also, I've got approval from the network to do YouTube, but I can't release any information that I haven't already on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because then they're like, well, why are we paying you millions?
Yeah.
When people can get it for free. So I'm like umming and ahhing.
Yeah. That's fair enough, because you want to like show it through that documentary that you've made.
Yeah.
With your documentary, I don't know how much you can talk about it, but
I can't say who bought it, but
Is there any like dates or anything that you?
they were supposed to get it in May this year.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't realize how long it would take me to heal.
Yeah. Okay.
It's taken heaps longer to heal.
Yeah.
Because I've still got McDonald's to go. Then, even though I've got a team of 8 medical specialists in Australia and I've got 1 in the US and we're just about to get another one, part of a medical license in Australia is they can't talk on camera.
Yeah.
So I have to go to the US and interview all the specialists in the US to get them to talk on camera. Because you know when you got a doco, it's like, hey, this happened, and then it's like the specialist is like, well, you know, I need that specialist's credibility, even though I've got all the information. But if it's me talking, you know, we need that specialist credibility. So I've got to go to the States to do that. That's probably a 3-month job in the States. Then we come back. Now, my producer that was in Australia has retired, so I've got to get a new producer in Australia. That producer's got to get funding from Screen Australia to do the post-production, because the post-production is more than a 6-month job of us editing. You think I've been filming for 2 years, almost every meal, every workout with video vlogs.
Wow.
Basically, like, the rule of editing is, just to be able to get into the story, is you pretty much got to watch every bit of footage for four times. So if there's an hour of footage, it takes you 4 hours of watch time, then edit. Like, I've got hundreds of hours. The job's huge, but then we've also got to go, we haven't worked out, are we going to tell the story where, like, 'cause this is a docu-series, so there'll be like 10 to 15 episodes or something. So are we going to do just KFC? And then alcohol, and then Subway, and then stuff? Or are we going to do week 1 of everything and compare them side by side? Or are we going to do the difference in weight, the difference in skin, the difference in bloods? And then I've got to work out how I want to finish it. I don't know. I want it to make a difference, not just in my pocket, because it's going to make a massive difference. But one of the benefits too, if you're ever doing a doco, spend the money yourself, get government funding, try get Screen Australia funding. It takes longer and you have to sacrifice a lot. But if you own the license to it, then I get, besides what the producer gets, I get all the money. Whereas if I had got Netflix to give me $1 million up front or something to film it, then they'll give you like 5% of royalties. Whereas like you look at old mate from Super Size Me, he's still getting paid 20 years later. And getting paid well. So there's that. So I did that. So you got to sacrifice a fuckload, but then you own the license. And then, like, for example, the States buy it for 3 years. and then I can go and sell it to their competitor for 3 years, and then I can sell it to another place for 3 years. And I'll give you examples. Super Size Me sold it to YouTube just in the States for $5 mil.
Holy shit.
And that was not lifetime deal. That was only for a few years.
Yeah, wow. And then when that's done.
And then he could sell it to fucking whoever.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That is insane.
So, yeah, so I've still got like, we've got to work out how I want to finish it. Part of me is going, I'm so angry at our approval system to get food on the shelf. Like, there was a study done this week, and the number one snack for kids when they get home is 2-minute fucking noodles.
Yeah.
You know how bad that shit should not be on the fucking shelf.
He's a fiend for him.
Bro, they are so bad. Did you watch what happened to me?
They
Week
don't
2.
digest in your stomach.
One, they don't digest. There's video footage of that.
Yeah.
My lymph nodes blew up under my arms. My lymph nodes haven't blown up in any alcohol, KFC, Subway, vegan. My lymph nodes blew up. Like, depression was bad. They didn't digest. And I was only having 5 packets a day. Even though, yeah, that's quite a lot. But, man, how the fuck are these things on the shelf? So, I'm kind of thinking... I probably shouldn't say it, but who gives a fuck? I wouldn't mind... I've got a mate of mine who runs a supplement company.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind making a protein bar and getting it put on a shelf, but the protein bar basically being out of plastic. And getting it approved and getting it on a fucking shelf
Yeah,
and
that would
going,
be cool.
this is how fucked up our approval system
That would
is.
be cool.
Because that's how I think the only way that we would change the government to change the approval system to get through.
But also with that, would you feel bad for the people that would buy it?
No, I just have it on day one and then go, don't buy this.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to film it and then go, here it is. And we come in like, we're doing some PR, go buy it. And then I'm like, do not eat this. This is fucking plastic.
Yeah. What do you reckon how far you could push it?
I don't, that's all I'd need to do.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to do anything else.
Yeah. Wow.
Because it's insane when people actually take an interest in what we're eating. Like those protein bars have like insects. They're,
Yeah.
like insects.
Oh, dude.
Eating your.
There's so many ingredients.
Yeah.
How the fuck is it so hard?
In America, they've got it even worse with that whole like red 40 or whatever. It's meant to be really bad for you.
What's red 40?
What?
Sorry.
Red dye.
Yeah. It's meant to be like.
Oh yeah, Rowan Atwood got his kids off it, and he said his kids are like different people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposedly it's meant to be really, really bad for you. I don't know why.
What is it?
It's red 40. It's like food dye, but it's like in like a lot of.
Oh.
It's like the same as preservatives, like preservative 201 or 201 or something in alcohol is what gives you the hangover.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Because how was that alcohol?
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be able to do it. I have a bottle of wine the next day. I'm like, fuck, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything.
It was weird. That was the biggest eye opener to me on your why. I thought, like, I can easily suffer from depression and shit real easy. I don't really get anxiety. I can suffer from depression easily. If I don't train every day, or if not twice a day, I got autism, ADHD, and I can go downhill real quick.
Yeah.
And I was like, my family was scared. They were like, fuck, this is going to be bad. He's going to be like wanting to like unalive himself and shit. So that's why I was out all the time. But I was waking up. So KFC did 4 or 5 million views. Then I did the fast. And KFC got TikTok from 0 to 30-something thousand followers. Alcohol got me from 30,000 to 180,000 in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Following. But the amount of comments in it, and alcohol did over 20 mil by itself. And I was going, this is what I need to sell the doco. I need it to be going viral. I need people to respond, because it's not just the viral content that helps you sell it. The network goes, people respond to him as a creator. He's a good storyteller. Like they're looking at that more.
Yeah.
Obviously, they know the topic's interesting because it's relatable. Everyone eats and everyone drinks and everyone knows the brands. That's why part of my contract is I have to do McDonald's, because McDonald's is the widest known brand.
Yeah.
So if you look at the amount of staff that McDonald's has around the world, the amount of people that eat it around the world, that's a direct audience that they're going to get.
Yeah.
So, when the alcohol, I was waking up, so I was going to bed, can't remember. sometimes 9 at night. Sometimes I didn't really do many over midnight because I started drinking at 10 in the morning. I was fucked by like 10 p.m. I wanted to go to bed.
How could you like function during the day doing that?
I'd do all. So I was training. I'd get up at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Because what alcohol does, you got 4 sleep cycles, right?
Yeah.
So alcohol makes you miss your first 2. You go straight into your third. Now each sleep cycle only lasts 90 minutes to about from 90 minutes to about 2.5 hours. So because you miss your first 2, you're in the deep REM. Then you go straight into wake up mode. So you're only getting 90 minutes and then you start to go into the 90 minutes. That's why alcoholics wake up real early, right? And you go straight into wake up. So I'm waking up like 4 a.m. going, what the fuck is going on? But then I look at my phone and I'm like, all right, so the post my post is what happened about a week ago.
Yeah.
I'm always a week or 2 ahead.
Yeah.
Because I need to sit there and structure like, all right, what was that story that day? And I look back and then I'm like, okay, I might talk about weight this day and skin that day and that day because I'm still trying to work out what subjects are the most important. But then I'd wake up and I'm like, fuck, this video's gone viral. Wow. And then I'd read the comments. They were all positive. It's real funny. I'll explain the psychology behind when you're doing something bad to yourself, why you get no hate. When you're doing something good, you get heaps of hate. But they're positive. But there's heaps of people going, because of what you're posting, I'm quitting alcohol. So I'm going, hang on a second, this is getting me the views to sell it and it's making a difference. Yeah. So I'm waking up on a fucking massive high. I'm not getting the depressive thoughts. Yeah. I'm not getting the anxiety shit of what did I do. I'm waking up going, this is working.
Yeah.
Then
doing something.
It's working. So my why for drinking, which pretty much no one drinks for a good why.
Yeah.
So I really need to make sure that that's an important part of the alcohol part because I only had like, besides the ending, I only had like about 3 real bad days.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And I only had like 2 or 3 drinks on those days, like fucking, like forcing him down my throat.
Having some drinks to celebrate doing good shit.
Yeah, but also too, there's something to do, I need to research more, but there's something to do with drinking the day before you exercise harder.
Yeah.
I was in Budrum for like 2 of the 4 weeks. And I've gone past my like doing ultra marathons. I don't enjoy running anymore. I did 65 Ks of hills in 4 days. I was fucking training so hard. Like that voice that goes, get up the hill, you fat cunt, came back.
Yeah.
And I was like basting and I was like training real hard and I was training so I'd train at like 5, 6 in the morning for about an hour or 2. And then I'd do all the work I needed to do. So I'd do all my meetings, all my emails, I'd do all my normal work client kind of stuff. Then I'd train again at 9 and at the end of training I'd have a drink.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I wouldn't work. I had a rule, don't respond to comments, don't do any work, don't. And then like I'd answer calls and shit, but everyone knew. But then I also planned to do it in December, so everyone was partying. So I had like 5 different groups of friends, and I'd just party with each of them. Like, got heaps of alcoholic friends.
It would have been fun, but it also would have been. It would have been bad if you didn't have that upper.
Yeah, if I didn't have the upper, would have. If I was just drinking at home, trying to go like, can I drink every day and save money?
That would have been.
Like, it would have been week 2. It would have been like having the thoughts of not wanting to be there and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I did. But it wasn't to do that. It was just to show the effects.
Yeah.
So we were just out, and I had like a coffee sponsor who fucked me over, didn't pay their bill. But then also I was drinking heaps of espresso martinis.
Oh, yeah.
I was like starting to mix different ones and all this kind of stuff. So I was drinking heaps of those, yeah.
That's insane.
We'll have a look what's on our sheet because Eli's got some stuff.
Oh.
You're skydiving. You can talk about that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Skydiving, good.
Yeah.
It's not as dangerous as what people think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more. There's I didn't have a drama in 103 jumps.
Yeah.
And there's next to like you're more likely to die in a car on the way out there than skydiving. You've also got 3 lifelines. People think you've only got 2.
Yeah, I thought you only had 2.
Yeah, so you've got your main chute and you've got your reserve. But if something happens while you're exiting the plane or in air and you get knocked out, there's an electronic device that opens your chute for you if you're travelling a certain speed at a certain height.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So you do actually have 3 lifelines.
That's crazy. I heard the main issue is how people pack the chute is like where it can go wrong.
Well, it can go wrong when you're packing it, but there's only 3 super important things. Like, I'm very, very early in skydiving, so, like, my opinion is basically, and the skydiving community will tell you you're a fucking idiot. I don't like the community at all.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a very bad community.
Yeah.
Most people don't hit 50 jumps because the communities are not what I thought it was. It's very, like, tall poppy, I'm better than you. My experience is the coaches really make you feel like an idiot, and it's not. Like, it doesn't really provide a safe experience to be trying stuff because you're too worried about how everyone's going to judge you rather than making the right decision. I think something needs to change in the community for that. But that's only my experience because I've only jumped at 2 spaces. So everyone tells me that other places aren't like those, but the 2 I jump at, the culture's real bad. Yeah. But, like, packing, but, like, you know, when you're out there and you're skydiving all day and you might do a jump like the second or third last load and they're like, all right, we're doing another they're doing one sunset jump and there's a few spots. You're just sitting there like jamming shit in there. And, fuck it, it'll be right. Like, I'll just open a bit higher. So there's 3 super important things. There's like putting your brakes. So making sure your brakes are at toe. So when you open, you're not going full pelt. You're going half speed. So your brakes is the most important. Then this thing called a slider. So you have to make sure your slider's all the way down so that the slider opens before the chute opens. Because if the slider's not like, if the slider's not down, so it's like a small piece of material. If that doesn't open before the chute opens and the chute just opens, you're doing like 200 and something Ks an hour and you dead stop. Yeah. So you're like back, neck injuries, that kind of stuff. So your slider needs to open and it slows it down. It slows you down, then the chute opens. Yeah. And then the last thing is, you've got a thing called a D-bag. So that when you pull around and you pull your chute, you have to make sure that there's a string that's been pulled, that there's a little bag that opens. Yeah. This little bag opens and then goes for a little bit, and that's what pulls your chute out. They're the 3 most important things. Then everything else does matter, but you can kind of get away with it. It's those 3 things. If you fuck up one of those 3 things, you're in trouble. Whereas, you know, other things like, you know, if you don't do your cells and stuff properly, it might open a bit twisted, but then you can like untwist it and that kind of stuff, and it might take a little bit longer, but they're the super important things. But you've got to, like, when you first do your license, you don't start packing until you're in your 20 or 30 jumps. Then you have to do a full packing course, and then you can't pack on your own. Then the coach watches you do 10. So, like, skydiving's so expensive because there is a course for absolutely every single fucking thing you do. You have to have a coach. You have to be qualified. Every jump is like leveling up to this. Then everyone has to check. Like, they are super safe. They are the nerds of extreme sport. Everything is super, super safe, which is good. Yeah, it's good. Right? Because a lot of the coaches have had friends die and that kind of stuff. So they're like, they don't want to see that anymore. So it's super regulated and it's super safe. Like, it's safer than, I would say it's safer than freestyle motocross. Yeah, wow. Like, I would say that. When I used to do freestyle motocross race bikes, and when I got into skydiving, I'm like, it's done so much more professionally, so many more checks, there's so much more regulation to make sure this shit doesn't happen.
Yeah. How did you feel on your first solo? Was that a scary experience or a good one?
It's nerve-wracking, but it's more nerve-wracking because you're more worried about, you've got a coach either side of you and they're holding on to you. They leave the plane with you. Yeah. Right, so and they never let go of you. You're more worried, I was more worried about passing than what I was doing.
Yeah, okay.
So it's really, the skydiving is the most weird experience, right? You do 9 jumps. So your first jump, you do tandem, and they get you to do everything you're going to do on your next jump. So you have to like check your alti, which is the most important thing. And then you have to like, you know, go around and grab the thing so you know where it is. And you have to grab it 3 times and check your alti like every 2,000. And then they're like, okay, cool, he passed that, so he's going to be able to do it. Your second jump is with the fucking chute. Like, you're sitting there going, what the fuck? I've only just got to know this, right? And you're like, hang on. And they're like, yep, you got your own chute. You've never practiced. All the injuries happen under canopy. Yeah. You've never done that. Never fucking gave it a go. There's no trial run, right? And you're sitting there and going, what the fuck? I don't know if I'm ready for this. Then you just do that and they check. So you're more worried about that. Then once it's open, then you have to do a few like things under canopy and check. Then it's kind of like real slow, and then you have a landing pattern. Yeah. Everyone has this everyone, unless you've got over a certain amount of jumps, has the same landing pattern. Yeah. So you've kind of got to get in in line and make sure you're not near other people. Then come in and you always land against the wind. If you land with the wind, you're fucking motoring. But you land against the wind, you slow down, and then you've got somebody on a radio that goes, all right, turn right, all right, cool. And then you've got to go half brakes, which gets the canopy to do this to start flattening you out. Yeah. And then you go full brakes when you stop. But the most injuries happen like landing on the ground. Most ankles, knees is silly mistakes there. That's pretty much where I only, like every single time I saw the ambos or the helicopter come out with injuries, it was all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll chat about your club. What was it?
Club 4.
Club 4.
Yeah.
Chat about that. Like, do you want to promote it? Is it?
Yeah, we were supposed to launch, like, I did a soft launch like 3 months ago, and I was supposed to do 2 PR launches, but they both fell over. We're going to do the most skydives in 24 hours. Yeah, and then the skydiving community are like, you need to do another 100 jumps. I was like, fuck.
How many skydives the record?
Oh, this dude's done 680 something.
Holy
Dude, he had like 3 or 4 fucking super planes. He had like 25 shoots, but he only went up to 2,000 feet and jumped and then took it off. Like 2,000 feet, mate, if you're in the plane and a problem happens at 2,000, it's umming and ahhing whether or not you leave or you go down with the plane, because the plane's just going to glide down. So it's just a matter of making sure it doesn't hit trees and shit. This guy jumped at 2,000. That's not a skydive. It's basically a base jump. I don't know how they counted it, but I was trying to work it out. I'm like, dude, this dude's doing a jump like every minute, 2 minutes.
How do you even get up in the air? And
the super caravan flies. So like, if you go out and jump out near Esk area, the plane takes like 25 minutes to get up because it's slow. Whereas Byron, I was on the phone to a mate, saw people get in at Byron, and the last dude got in when my phone rang, and I saw first canopies coming out at 13 minutes. That fucking thing flies up. It's so quick.
More about your
Okay. So Club 4, So we did a soft launch and we've got almost 1,000 people signed up. So it's basically similar to LMCT Plus, where you sign up for $5 a week and you get discounts to thousands of businesses. The difference between us and LMCT Plus on that element is that you don't just get discounts from the businesses. If you refer any of the businesses on their page have an advertisement saying we'll give you a commission. So like a real estate agent will give you $2,000. If you do personal injury, it's like $2,000. You get $2,000. If you do like restaurants, bars, merch, whatever the business is, they'll pay you a commission. So for an individual user, you can not only save money from the website, you can make money from the website. And especially now we're going into the biggest fucking financial crisis of our lifetime. It's going to be like, I wanted to go, how can I add more value than what we're asking? And that's one element. And then for the business perspective, you're not just getting access to thousands of potential customers. If you incentivize them right, and we've got a page that's similar to like a Facebook feed where businesses can post, hey, for an end of financial year or Christmas special, we'll give you an extra $50 or $100, whatever it might be. So you can go and go, hey, whether or not it doesn't matter what it is, you can just search the directory, and if you've got any friend you can recommend them, then there's a referral page in there where you refer the page so we can make sure that you get paid, because that's one of the risks. So that's one thing I wanted to have that. And then instead of us raffling off cars and houses, we raffle off experiences with us. So we'll be vlogging every single week and multiple times a week. It's all going to be for the boys. This is like similar to Nelk. I was going to do, we were going to do both girls and guys, but, with Amber Heard type of stuff, like it's just a bit dangerous. So we want to really kind of like make it for the boys. Like we're going out fishing on Saturday on the coast, and we might go skydiving, or we might go out to the racetrack or something. Then we go back and have drinks. Then we're at like Carly Beach with booths and doing entrances and doing all this stuff. Like it's just, and then so the guys included in the membership of $5 a week is a free raffle ticket. And I want to make it so basically over the course of a year, as the business grows and we get more members, the vlogs become bigger. So it's not just us inviting 3 guys. It's we start inviting 10 and 20. Then we start booking out venues. Then we start to do I want to grow it over a 3-year period where we're doing festivals where you get a free ticket to like a Snoop Dogg or something. And then everyone's like, how do you get it? We're like, just join the club. $5 a week, you're getting free shit. You're getting free this, free that. So we want to make it at some point that you will always get in the experience. You'll be in the video. and they're all inclusive. So that's kind of the goal with it.
Yeah, that's cool as. That's
awesome.
And I just want to get away from my content and just have some fucking fun.
Yeah.
My content's so serious.
Yeah. What did you think of, did you see with the LMCT plus thing?
Oh, yeah.
The house thing?
The people that weren't happy.
Yeah.
Well, it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't think... It's like anything, you're going to have a certain percentage that go well. There's always going to be something that happens bad sooner or later. But to be completely honest, I think that helped him massively with marketing.
Yeah. It
Like,
definitely did.
massively.
It brought attention, and all the media covered it, and...
Well, he hasn't lost anything from it.
Yeah.
It's brought negative stuff, but it's made people like him more.
Yeah.
I think what he's done is fucking amazing, and I think his attitude towards everything's amazing too.
Yeah.
Like, they're nice, but they have this arrogance about it where it's not a negative arrogance. I think it's a very positive arrogance, because I think in terms of when you watch their content and you watch them, I don't see anything that's bad, and I think them as a great role model to males. They're very confident.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen him where he got pulled over on the RBT show?
No,
and he lost his, and he's like got pulled up in the M3 and stuff, and he's just smiling they're impounding his car, and he's just like real happy and stuff. And I was like, this is the best attitude to like adversity.
Yeah.
I think they're really, but I just think they're good role models for guys.
And how they deal with all the media, like Adrian with like how he skylifted his McLaren up to his
That's fucking sick.
He like how
And it was but other people are struggling. He's like, so? What's that got to do with me?
I reckon they're cool guys, but
I don't like giving into a victim mentality, people, and that's what he didn't do.
Yeah.
He didn't go, I need to be polite. He goes, no, I want this to motivate people to fucking work, because I've lost so much and I've been trying, and my family his family hated what he was doing and questioned everything and told him to go get a job, and he stuck to it. And I think that's a very good role model.
Yeah, definitely. Well, do you want to mention anything else? Or do we want
I wanted to talk about, because you talk about, every now and then you talk about like, you've mentioned it today about depression, and you've mentioned a couple of times suicide and how you've had friends and...
I've been through that myself.
How have you dealt with it and with people doing it, and then you've had to it's just emotional role.
So I used to work in mental health for 8 years, and we used to help children that were suicidal due to bullying.
Yeah.
And we used to grant them experiences like Make-A-Wish and that kind of stuff, and we'd give them this booster, and then we'd film it, and then it would go over the media, and then we'd help them in school, but then we made them a part, we gave them... The main thing is giving purpose. So you can cure depression with purpose. Most people are depressed because they're waking up every day going, what the fuck am I doing? I'm not motivated to do anything. I think the easiest answer is finding a reason, finding a goal, whether or not it's a work goal, a personal goal. And personal goal, it's like whether or not you're achieving something personal or you're giving back, or, and I think the easiest way to answer that is I always think 5-10 years ahead, and I always think about me on my deathbed.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do I want to be remembered for? And then I notice that when I go through my worst times, I'm not working on that. What do I want my legacy to be, or what do I want to achieve in the next year, 3 years, or 5 years? When I start to get lost and I'm not working on it, I was doing the 2 world records, and the message behind those world records, even though they were PR stunt for Club 4. But the message behind it was cure depression with purpose.
Yeah.
And my purpose got taken away from me, and I was so fucking depressed. I was back to drinking, because I spend most of my time alone. I was traveling around, and I moved to Byron purposely to be away from my friends who are at restaurants every single day, because that just enables me. But I was down there and I was working a lot, and those 2 things were taken away from me. And it took me 3 or 4 weeks to stop drinking every day and go, hang on a second, get the fuck out of this, get back onto what am I doing? Where am I going? How am I going to leverage this? How am I going to create purpose? And I still haven't, I honestly still haven't gotten fully out of it. I have probably 3 or 4 good days and 2 or 3 bad. But it's constantly just going, hang on a second, what am I doing? What are my habits? What are my daily habits? I'm not excited because where am I going? What am I working on?
Yeah.
What is today going to do that's going to help me in 6 months when I'm just surviving every day?
Yeah.
And that's where I think most depression is coming from, is a lack of purpose. And we're in a time at the moment where males are struggling with it more than ever because we're getting emasculated in every way, shape, or form, and we're getting told being a man is a bad thing, and I think that's leading, like when we were helping countless people in the mental health era, obviously we're helping more males, and it's funny, statistically more women try, more males succeed, but when we're looking at the males and everyone's saying that a man should talk more, when your wife or your girlfriend says that you're a piece of shit, you don't want to tell your mate that the person you love thinks you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right? So talk more, but it's like, and then secondly, nobody's teaching everyone how to respond.
Yeah.
No one knows how to respond to someone. If someone goes, hey man, I'm thinking about like, I don't want to be here anymore. Yeah, everyone's like, fuck, I don't know what to say. And they just drift away and they go away. That makes the person in that situation feel worse. Best thing to do is be like, right bro, let's go climb a mountain, let's go do shit, let's always be around them, always call them, make them feel like fuck, people care about me and that kind of stuff. But people don't know what to do, so they shy away. So that's one of the biggest problems. But those problems, those things are coming when either your purpose is saying that I don't like you and I think you're a piece of shit, they're emasculating you, which is huge at the moment. It's bigger than what anyone wants to admit. That's coming away, or their purpose of work or their goal is being taken away. It's a purpose-driven thing. Once that purpose is gone and doesn't respect you or doesn't give anything back to you, or you're not getting a return on investment from a personal goal or work, that's when that depression's coming, because it's like, why am I here? Yeah. And especially men are driven by purpose. Like, if we're not providing anything, we're not worth anything. So it's providing something.
Well, that's why you kind of wanted to start this up. Yeah. Like, we were sick of just, like, we're still working full time. Yeah. We're doing this as like hopefully we can do this eventually full time, but we started it out because we were working every day, going home every day.
It's a depressing. It's just so.
It's just like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, I'm just paying my bills and drinking on the weekend, and then I'm back to square one.
And he was like, "Oh, do you want to do this so we can actually do something?"
It's just a depressing thought, and we all know people that work a 9 to 5 their whole life, and it's just, I just feel sorry for them.
Go to school to learn how to work, to die.
To then die.
Start a family.
to make them work and die.
Yeah. It sucks being a male, I tell you, because one of the biggest things you have is we don't get time back, and we don't get as much time with our kids. Yeah. Working sucks. Yeah. If I could be a stay-at-home parent, I'm there, mate.
I said that to my girlfriend, right? She's like, oh yeah, she's getting into a all right paying job. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be a stay-at-home father. I'm fine with that.
Dude, mate, I'm doing dress-ups every day. Yeah. We're having Nerf fights. We're fucking water bomb fights. Once they go into school, I'm embarrassing them, picking them up, like doing dumb shit. I am that parent.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be awesome.
It'll be so much more fun. Like, you think about, like, that's a whole equality thing. Everyone's like, oh, guys get to work, they make the money. I'm like, but you get to spend so much, like, you don't miss any of your kids' lives. We don't get that.
But as well, I don't get the men that, like, as well, are fighting against that. If you stay at home with your kids, then you're not a true man. Yeah. Some guys are like that.
Bro, but where I want to be into a position where I can work. Like that's the main reason why I got into this. Yeah. Is I just went, okay, what do I want to do on a daily basis? I want to make money by filming my life. Yeah. And I went, hang on, I don't have a profile enough where people are going to be interested just in my life. So I need to do something that gives credibility. So that's what this doco is. Yeah. This doco is going bang to get the awareness, get this on the networks, and I actually thought I'd only get a few $100,000. The money's ridiculous. Yeah. Right? So I'm like, holy fuck, you never really have to work because you sell it every 3 years in every single country around the world. You get professionals in Spanish to dub it properly in Spanish, sell it in Spain, sell it in fucking Japan, all that kind of shit. Like do a Mr. Beast, right?
He's got like,
do the Mr. Beast. Like I could just do this doco and then be done with it, and just keep doing it. And you sell it every 3 years to a different network. It's just a rolling bank. But then I'd be depressed because I got no purpose. Yeah. So then I was like, why don't? And then I could leverage that and then just film my life every day. Yeah. Then I can have a family and kids and I'll never not be with my kids. Yeah. We're just like, all right, let's travel, let's go do this, let's film. I've got a little baby here, we're doing this. I'm like dressing them up, making funny content with my kids. Doing like Rowan Atwood did, driving his missus crazy, throwing the doll down, thinking it was his kid. Like all that shit, it'd be hilarious and you just make your money off it.
Yeah. How is it balancing the dream that you want to do, like doing this, filming your life, which is your career dream, and being with your kids and having a personal life as well.
Like reality.
Well, I don't have kids, which I'm lucky, but I think men should be sacrificing as early as possible and taking the most risks as early as possible.
Yeah.
Because if you're 20 and you've risked everything and you lose it at 22, I mean, who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
like, you don't have kids and everything. So I think we should be focused 100% on building.
Yeah.
Build a career, build a stable thing. Now, a lot of women don't understand this, but also men. Men won't ever subconsciously commit to a girl until they're in a financial position to provide for a female and a child. So subconsciously they'll never commit until they're in that position that they feel like, now I can afford to support you and bring another child in. And it's like, it's just ingrained into us as men. So when girls are like, oh, this guy's never, that's the reason why. It's because he doesn't feel like he's in a position to do that. So I reckon we should not be focusing on women or partying young. It's just like fucking grind and work and take every risk you can, then build to a position. And we're lucky, right? We're so lucky. We can grind until our mid-30s, 40s or 50s, and once we get it, you can then date a younger person, because women are smart, right? They want to date older guys because they're more mature. And they're more set up, and they're more like, you know, it's the number one thing for a woman's security.
I feel like even like men at the age of 50 are still mentally like 20.
100%. Don't grow up. Fuck that shit. Wait, how bad's this, right? Humans are so fucked up. Right? Everything that's good in life is also the worst thing in life. Sex is the best thing, sex is the worst thing. Money is the best thing, money is the worst thing. We spend our childhood trying to be an adult, we spend our adult trying to be a fucking child. We're so fucked up.
Exactly right.
That is so true.
But we're so like men would never grow up. And it's like, but we shouldn't either. Like, women are so much better at money than us. And they're so much better at, like, when it comes to like raising a child, they're so much better at so much, like, we're the fun dad. We're the fun what? We're either going to be the enforcer, or it's like, we're playing. Right?
We're the ones that like fuck around and then the kid does something and then the mum gets up.
Exactly. Exactly.
And the dad.
But like, I don't think we should ever grow up. Like, I want to be 50 years old still going about, doing flips. Like, fuck being all serious wearing a suit.
Exactly right.
Says the man born in Canberra, eh?
Yeah, well, that's why I got out of there. Isn't it funny, like, did you see the votes for the areas?
I did.
Did you see, like, where all the areas voted yes, and Canberra's like...
That's another thing with TikTok. You see, like, on the lives, as soon as you mention, like, the voice or
that thing, dude, that comes up
like, instantly. It is crazy.
It's crazy.
Like,
I don't understand why they forced us to vote.
You're not a big, like, TikTok person, but on live, if you say the word referendum or the voice, like,
I think you even say vote yes or no too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
like, 3 seconds, a big warning would pop up on your live.
Really?
Yeah, like...
AI's that good.
Wow.
It is, like, insane.
I don't understand, because TikTok
Even
is
if we
like
probably post this conversation on YouTube, we'll probably get, like...
I don't know, because TikTok is like a Chinese-owned company.
No, that was fucking 7 years ago.
So they've changed.
They've got seven main board members. And only 2 of them are from either Singapore or China. The rest are from other countries, mainly the US. All their data is stored in the US. Everything is stored, and it's under US law.
But
I don't understand.
And China actually has a totally different app.
Yeah,
They've got like a...
Well, that app's hectic. But how smart's that app?
Yeah.
Like, they only, like, depending on your age is what you get fed.
Yeah.
So we're getting fed, like, dances and dumb shit, and I get censored trying to help people. And I reckon they're doing that on purpose. Like, let's make Australia and America dumb ass. Make our kids smart. They only get educational stuff.
It's because it's so dumb. I don't understand how... You should be able to do whatever the fuck you want, really, and post
like
whatever.
Freedom. But the also is that as an app and a big company is that whatever you allow in your house, and whoever's in your house, if they misinterpret what you say and it leads to the death or harm of themselves or somebody else, the person who owns a house is liable. So TikTok then become liable. But also too, TikTok's going through what YouTube went through. I don't know if you remember, right? So YouTube 10, 15 years ago went through a stage where it was like around the 9/11 era where beheadings were on
Oh,
were on the
yeah.
videos, and then Coke and shit were being like had sponsored ads in
Yeah.
between, and people were connecting Coke saying that you support this. So all the sponsors left. So TikTok's going through that at the moment. TikTok's going through this. And we still live in a society where, for some reason, we're giving in to the minority.
Yeah.
When we should be only ever thinking majority, not minority.
Yeah.
So when we're just trying to say, "Oh, don't talk about some people can talk about fasting and some people can't." It's
Yeah.
fucking weird, right? But no, you can't talk about fasting because a bunch of mothers complained in the US that their children had an eating disorder, and then they're looking at it. I'm like, mate, they're googling shit.
Yeah.
They're not seeing it from me.
Yeah.
But if they're getting motivation from me, like you need to. Like, people need to take ownership of their own, what they consume and their own actions.
Yeah.
Well, even we posted a video. We had a guest who spoke about, like, he was in the NRL and he, like, did cocaine. And he spoke about that. And we posted a TikTok without the word cocaine, like,
You took it out.
blurred.
Yeah.
And it did, I think, 300 views over, like, 8 hours. And then I deleted it, blurred it out, and it's got like 230k views now.
Hang on a second. So you took it out, and it didn't go, and then you put it in,
No. The word cocaine was there, and it got like 300 views.
and then you took it
And I
out.
took it out and beeped it, and then it did like 240k views.
Yeah, that's also in terms of entertainment. Sometimes when you do a post, like if you look at mine, I might ask a question, but I know the answer. But
Yeah.
I might lead people down a path and
Yeah.
act dumb because I want them to engage.
Yeah.
But I'm also very interested to let people make their own assumption and then go, hang on, what did they think from this? Fuck, I thought it was going here, but everyone's taken it this way, and it's
Yeah.
very smart to do. But it's also too, like when you take it out, it lets people try to think, hang on, what is this?
Yeah.
So when you leave part of the story open for
Yeah.
interpretation, that story's going to go better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bringing it back to, like, you were talking about adpocalypse and
Apocalypse.
apocalypse. Yeah,
Yeah.
like their YouTube getting rid of all their ads. And I'm going to bring up a point.
Oh, adpocalypse.
Adpocalypse.
I'm like, did I talk about apocalypse? What the fuck have I spoken about?
No, but I'm going to bring up the point that if Coca-Cola's making $1 million, they could not give a fuck what the video is sponsoring.
Yeah, they can. 100%. They're more worried about their brand than anybody.
Yeah, they were connecting it. People were connecting it. It was everywhere.
Yeah, I remember the time, but
Dude, look at what just happened to Bud Light.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, yeah,
sure.
true.
Yeah, like, they care about their brand more than
Yeah.
anyone. Do you actually know why they did that? Do you know the Bud Light riot?
No, I didn't know the in-betweens of it. I knew what happened, but
Yeah.
I didn't know
No, so the Dylan Mulvaney, whatever, who just
Yeah.
won Woman of the Year and
Yeah.
something.
Oh yeah,
years ago,
no, that's it. And
Yeah.
No. So do you know? So what? So the main guys like BlackRock, Vanguard,
Yeah.
Gates, and that, right? They have this social credit score, and they basically say if you don't adhere and get a certain social credit score, which is pushing this trans and all this agenda, which is dividing us, right?
Yeah.
If you don't hit that, we won't invest as much with you, which will crash your stock. So they're going, shit, we need our stock price to go up, so we need to do what our investors are telling us to do.
Yeah.
They go and do Dylan Mulvaney,
Yeah.
which the investors wanted the stock to crash. Then they went and bought more stock when it was lower. So then they bring it back up. So they just crash their own. They crash the stock of it.
It's
Have you
clear
looked
as
at
day.
Gates? Just bought a fuckload of Bud Light.
But it's clear as day, like, as well, like, from just a basic point of view of just audience
Of beer.
of beer, and that, there's going to be an issue there.
Yeah.
Of like.
Yeah, but
doesn't matter if you support it or
but the
not.
main investors knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, let's crash this company,
So we can-
and then we can come in and we buy more stock at nothing,
Yeah.
and then we come and go, all right, we've resurrected it, blah blah blah, and then the stock goes through the roof. They make a fuckload.
Yeah.
It's stock manipulation without it being stock
Absolutely, yeah.
manipulation.
Yeah. Crazy. Okay, well, we better wrap up. We've gone for like an hour and a half.
What the fuck's? No wonder I'm so hungry.
Alright, we'll wrap up. Well, thank you for coming on.
No, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for reaching out.
Do you want to shout out your socials and
Oh yeah, I'm sure you'll tag in
Yeah.
there, but at Conan Visser or Conan M Visser or something.
in the description as well. And
And if anybody wants to help, wants help with doing rehab, so overcoming any alcohol alcohol abuse or food abuse and they can't work out what's going on, well, I've just opened up an opening where the biggest thing that I have, like not just being a PT from 2004 and then nutrition, is wrecking my body and recovering from it and learning that. And I've got a full team behind it. Over the next year, we're bringing on clients internationally everywhere where we will help them recover. And it's all evidence-based. We get your bloods, we get your liver, we get everything and work out what's going on with your body, because what works for your family member or what works for your favorite PT or somebody you follow or whoever might not work for you. So we need to work out exactly what's going on with your body and how it responds to it, and help either do recovery or whether or not you need to go into a fast, whatever it is. We've opened that up and that links everywhere or through all my socials. But the reason we're doing it over the course of a year is we're getting more case studies of so many other people so that we can then tailor bigger programs to suit people to start to help more people through this doco. So it's like, hey, I did this, but then how the fuck did I recover in 6 weeks? How the fuck did I recover from that? And it's like, hey, you can too, but then also, like a biggest thing, like you look at wheat, right? If you don't eat wheat for a month, that wheat's still in your system. So yes, it comes out of your blood within 24 to 36 hours after you eat like pizza or whatever, but it actually stays affected in your system for 6 weeks. So you need to do a full 6 weeks cleanse to stop the damages of what this hydrolyzed bullshit wheat's doing. And there's all these different things that we can look at your past, but it's again going to your bloods. If we need to, then we go into a full gene test. We've all got 5 genes. If one of them's broken, and you consuming a certain amount of food, it lacks the ability to digest or turn that food into fuel, and that's a gene-based thing. So, and then also too, women with fasting, you really need to get checked before you go into even intermittent fasting or something like that. So I've just opened that up, and then boys, if you want to be involved in Club 4, that thing's at the moment it's free to sign up until we launch. Then it's only $5 a week. And then once we hit a certain, so if you're a founding member of Club 4, once it launches, you only get charged $5 a week. Then the charges go up to 10. But then as we hit different milestones, your membership won't increase. It will halve until it's completely free for life. So as a business grows, we reward the founders. So that's going to be launching soon, and we're doing a partnership with a massive club group, and then we're just going to go crazy. You won't see me doing any of this diet shit content.
Easy. Well, go check it out, guys. Thank you for watching. See you.
Yeah, see ya.
She got a body like a goddess, and she talks so sweet. It's like I can't believe I'm the one that she wanted. And if I'm really being honest,